Hi everyone, it's Carolyn here to share another channeled message from the Light Keepers. Today, I'm going to share two channels that are similar. And the topic is finding ourselves but moving out from under the control of others. And sometimes we don't even know it. So they give two pretty profound examples, I would say, through two separate channels that I'm going to offer you. And then, of course, I always have something to say about this, and I will offer my take on it as well. So welcome to this video today. I appreciate you joining me. I'm Carolyn. I'm a spiritual awakening mentor. I'm a channel, and I'm a distance energy healer. And I offer these channels from the Light Keepers for you to support you on your awakening journey. And welcome to everybody who's new as well. Down below, you're going to find a link in the description box that leads you to more free content, one of which is 6 tips on how to create flow in your body for health and wellness. So I hope you will join me. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and read them both first. There's not going to be any text because they're too long lately. And then I'm going to make my commentary. So I hope you enjoy these channels. Do you know who you are? Or is it who others have made for you? We come today to support you in the uncovering of the sense of you, the beginning of the journey to see who you are, without the cloak of what others' expectations have offered you. As the layers peel from your soul, the many years of being hidden deep underneath, now comes the beginning of expression of the trueness of you. Emotions flow as the volcano of you erupts into the glorious new growth over time. Coming to the surface is you, the one you truly know across all time, and that you will find all comfort in, joyous reunion of a great love. Now nothing stops you in your way, for you have reclaimed the depth of who you are, the uniqueness of you, only to rise in all glory. For it is you that is your strength, the love of your life you have found, and now, more than ever, you find yourself in wholeness, expressing to all the glory of you. Okay, here's the second one, and it's a little less poetic than they typically offer, because I think they were really trying to make a point here. For we say, suppression of the human and the light within is of great damage to one's being. Suppression of the human form, spirit, and creativity across time has been a weapon of suppression, not just the physical, but the mental, emotional, and creative. For light has a great difficulty shining in the suppressive state. Yet it is always there, and when one breaks free and knows the flame is greater than the darkness, one will see the flicker grow into the flame, raging fire, bright light across all of humanity, engulfing all and bringing suppression to an end. We say this day in each one, it is true. The spark becomes the flame within, and the flame joins others' flames to create the roaring fire you see, allowing the transcending of humanity. So when we think about these channels and I look at them, they're the same, but they're different. One is focused more on the individual as far as the idea of suppression or defining who you are, letting yourself be defined by others, or most importantly, being controlled by others. The second is the idea of more the collective, all of humankind being suppressed. Now, whether that's with, in the government structure that you live under, what are the religious framework potentially that you live under, whatever it is, beliefs, all of that. But the point is the suppression of the individual soul, and how this, when it happens to someone, squelches the light of them within, the soul, the uniqueness of who that individual is. Now, we can talk all day long about how there is a concerted effort to make that happen throughout all of humankind, so that we can't create, that we can't express ourselves as individuals, that we can't be that joyful being, but instead we are held in place. That's, those are oppressive governments, those are, well, we know they're oppressive religions, or those that are so, I guess I would say, focused on putting everybody into, okay, they just said the word stockade. Okay, so that's like cattle, right? Like, coming down the chute, and, you're just in that that channel of the flow of the place that they want you to be in, okay, and to think that way. And then we've got the individual piece of that, where in our relationships, and I'll bet you almost all of us can look back on a relationship we've had, or we even know somebody now where it's just paining us to see this happen, where their individual light is either being snuffed out or not being able to be seen or heard, or their self to be fully realized because of who they're with, whether it's a partner or married or family members. And it's that suppression that keeps us from being able to be all we can be. And with the awakening comes this opportunity to understand that you can no longer take this, that this is not who you are, that you will not be suppressed, whether it's through the framework of religion, governments, what you believe in, what you participate in on a regular basis, what you're told to do, or whether it's familial or relationships, a partner, a wife, a husband, sometimes it can be children. Because as we know in humankind, there is this idea of, controlling personalities, right? And wishing to control the way another behaves and operates and works. We've all been there. We've all been on both sides. I would argue that to one degree or another. But where we find that beautiful balance is the ability to be able to step back, let go when you're on the side of the controlling side, and just not feel so threatened by somebody being able to be their own person, to have their own life, be it your partner in marriage, be it your child, be it your friend. Why do we feel we have to put constraints on people? Why do we feel that, yes, children need some kind of guidance moving forward, but we need to be able to allow their creativity? When we're married or in a partnership, we still need to be able to have that balance of relationship, that what I'll say, the beautiful masculine and feminine coming together, but being equal and being able for us each to express our own uniqueness and individualities, rather than one controlling the other, because the one controlling is somehow feeling not worthy enough of that person, or not good enough, or threatened, or all those human things we do to ourselves. So we've been on both sides of this. I can near guarantee you. I know I have. Okay? And that's not a balanced relationship, and it doesn't allow the light to shine in that individual. And so often what will happen to us when we are the ones on the oppressed side, I'll say, or the suppressed side, over time, we will start having physical reactions to this. And for many of us, we have our awakening. And then we start realizing these things, where our higher self, our soul self, comes to the surface and said, no more. No more. It doesn't matter how much you care about that person, that family, that whatever. You need to change the way you live to be able to express the fullness of who you are. No one is meant to be suppressed. And that, as I said, goes to, if you look across the world, we can talk all day long about this, and how the suppression of creative aspects of the individual. You could look to communism, I guess, is a good example of that. So I'm a big fan of architecture, and I notice it wherever I go. But if you look at the communism structures and how it looks dank, dark, depressing, it's about taking that creative spirit away, controlling that, suppressing that. The idea of religions, and I'm not trying to offend anybody here, because I actually have great respect for religion at the foundational level of what it was originally intended, but of course it's been changed over time. But I'll just use, I'm going to just say Catholicism as an example. The heavy guilt structure that is placed on those who are of the Catholic faith, and what they have grown up with. We all have that guilt in us because of our societies and our cultures we've been brought up in, but we have some faiths that actually express that even more, to have guilt, to have that shame, to be able to live in that fear, because then you can't express the fullness of who you are, and then come out of that structured way of living, to be able to feel the wholeness of who you are. So when we start really delving into ourselves and looking at, where are we the suppressed and where are we the suppressor? Because I'm going to tell you, to one degree or another, I think we've all been there and may still be there now. Well, very easily could still be there now. Many of us are coming out of relationships that no longer serve us for one reason or another. It doesn't necessarily mean that person's bad, whatever bad means, right? But they don't fit into what we want for ourselves to be able to grow down the road any longer. And so many relationships are changing now, extremely. And the thing is, suppression of one soul just because we are in a relationship with them, isn't that just like putting someone in prison? They might as well be in jail, in a prison cell, because their soul is their expression of their humanness, the beauty that we're here to offer and to show and bring. So, what I would say is, really step back, because I'm doing this lately, and look at even where in my earlier times I was one or the other. Where am I that now? Where have I changed? Where have I shifted? And how can I offer the light to others in a more full way so that they can be an expression of who they truly came to be? Not held down by another, not held down by an institution, but to be able to express the fullness of who they are. Because then when we do, imagine how humanity transcends and becomes that bright light across all of us. So I hope you have enjoyed these channeled messages today and my take on it. And of course, as always, I'm interested in what you guys have to say. And I'll just remind you of my services on purplerainhealing.com, where I'm a spiritual awakening mentor, a distance energy healer, and a channel. And I would love to work with you. I have worked with so many of you, and these are powerful sessions that help you launch you forward in your journey, regardless of which you would choose. So reach out to me through purplerainhealing.com, and I would be happy to work with you. So with that, I'm going to leave you today, and I wish you the best, and I will see you in the next video.